Yeah. Marvelous. Sportholes Radio. Sports Show. Shout out to Chuck, AJ, Smoke, Steve. Let's get into it. Yeah. Like to welcome y'all to Sportholes and Sports Radio. Introducing your hosts, Chuck, AJ, and Smoke. When they hear the latest news on every sport play review, grab a seat, kick your feet, this is a good day to view. They cover all topics from football to basketball. Numbers don't lie, and every show they got the stats for y'all. They gon' give you the real, no sugarcoating. Anything you wanna hear, they keep the discussion open. It's Sportholes Radio. This is an amazing show. Sports Center with realness and edge. This the way to go. We gon' keep it booming. The best show, I'm assuming. It's time for Sportholes, Sports Radio. Tune in.
Bang, 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 bang. Welcome back, yo. Sports Hole Radio, episode 7. We are the champions. And it's your host, Smoke the Dude. As usual, Monday, 8:30. We in the building. Shout out to the South Carolina Lady Gamecocks for taking the national championship 2017. Dawn Staley getting rid of some of those demons from the Final Four of her time to come back and take South Carolina to the pinnacle and become those champions. As usual, it won't be Sports Hole Radio if I don't bring my crew in. Fat Boy, what's good with you?
What's happening? Not much going on over here. Shout out to the Gamecocks national champions. Asia, all those girls, they play real well. We can get into that. And everything else, we got sports related. But big shout out to the national champions, which out of, I say, football, basketball, and baseball, only one national champion does not belong in South Carolina. And we'll find out where it belongs tonight, but it might actually end up in North Carolina. So, I mean, that's still kind of like, it's like, if I can't have it, my cousin can have it. So I'm cool with that. So we about to see.
That's a good way to look at it. Yeah, also, special shout out to Bianca Cuevas Moore from the BX, holding it down for the South Carolina Gamecocks. Got to show love to the NYC, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you already know. Yeah, but yeah, look, we got to make the cipher complete. We're going to bring in Mr. Statman. What's good with you, boy?
Yeah, what's going on? Statman on deck.
How you feeling today, Mr. Statman? What's good?
Just get ready for this championship game. Would have been nice if Coach K would have been coaching tonight.
Glad I got that in there.
It looked like it's going to be a good game, though.
I mean, it looks like it's going to be a good game. You got a beastly dude from Gonzaga. You got the greatest college basketball team ever. And it's going to be a beastly game.
Duke ain't playing tonight.
You mean Duke ain't playing? That's why I said the greatest team ever. North Carolina, what you talking about?
Duke ain't playing
Hill
tonight.
Nation.
Coach K ain't out there tonight.
Coach K? Man. That's a private school, isn't it?
When they send them smarty-arty dudes, it's all right.
It's all right.
It all right, though. You know, we're a basketball school, too, but it ain't our night tonight. But we'll be back. We'll be back, though.
Y'all got more doctors than y'all got basketball players, and we got more basketball players than we got anything else. So, holla at me.
So what's the picks for tonight? I mean, it's, you know, I'm pulling for the Tar Heels to pull it out. I mean, we already know what the Dookie gonna say. He gonna. Hey, I'm assuming you pulling with the Zags.
I'm taking Gonzaga
right?
because their center is 6'7" and he's 300 pounds. Watch. That's some shit he about to say. Go ahead, Chuck.
Nah. See, this is one of my team ain't in it, and it ain't a team that I hate for not playing for. Even though I'm a Dookie, I don't hate the Tar Heels.
I hate Duke.
I don't really want them to get a championship because they have 6 and then we have 5. I like them to be great because when we beat them, that means we beating a great team. So I don't mind that they great.
That don't happen a lot.
So I ain't holding no grudge against them. It's 2 teams that's worthy of competing for the championship. May the best team win.
Give me your pick after that. Yo, did you, when you was in school, I thought you was a history major. I didn't know you was a legal or lawyer. I didn't know you took out law because you be dancing around the question.
Yo, my team ain't playing. So when my team ain't playing and it ain't a team that I absolutely despise.
Give me a pick, man.
I just want a good game to take place tonight, man.
I just want a good game. Man. Give me a pick, man.
I just want a good game to take place. I'm not gonna weigh in.
You just had 30-something good games. Give me a pick. Just by you not picking, already let me know you think North Carolina gonna win. So, Smoke, we gonna move on. Who you taking, Smoke?
Tar Heels.
Exactly. I ain't had to ask that, but I had to ask for the listeners and the viewers. So y'all know I'm taking the Tar Heels, even though. So really, like, we should have like 3 Tar Heel signs up on the screen, but we got 2 in a silhouette because Chuck don't want to say the name. So I mean, it is what it is. So Tar Heel Nation, stand up, go get it. Gonzaga, I'm sorry.
Yo, I like greatness. Roy Williams, he's a great coach. I like greatness. He's a great coach. I wouldn't be upset if he win because he'll just be solidifying his greatness. Mark Few for Gonzaga, he's also a great coach. If they win, I wouldn't be mad at that either. My team ain't in it, so I'm not rooting for or against nobody. If my team was in it, then I'd be like, yeah, I want my team to win. Only time I really want a team to lose is like the Patriots. I don't want them to ever win. You'll never see me.
Get into that. You about to have some hurtful.
Them dudes.
Well, let me tell you something. If this thing don't work out with the radio, Chuck, you always be our PR agent because you obviously know how to talk to people without answering the question. So you always got a job there. Good job.
As I said last week, my team was gone. I just wanted 2 teams that was worthy of playing for the championship.
Ain't your team been going since like the 2nd week though?
No doubt. And as I've stated before on our show, Sportholes, that can be reached at 563-999-55. As I've said before, I just want a worthy champion. Unless it's the cheating Patriots, I just like the worthy champion to win the championship every year. There's 2 teams that are worthy of holding the championship up, so I wouldn't be mad.
Well, I mean, just to recap a little bit, Gonzaga made it to the championship game from the Final Four by knocking off, the hometown guys, South Carolina Gamecocks. Final score of 77-73. So they beat those guys to get up there and advance to the championship game. Frank Martin went home this time, but it was a nice run for the Gamecocks to the Final Four. And
shout out Frank.
You can kind of see that program, rising up. So, it'll be some good things to look forward to next year. You know, maybe they can get some good recruits in and things like that. So, you know, shout out to the Gamecocks. North Carolina Tar Heels, they advanced by beating Oregon in a little closer game, 77-76, with a 1-point win. So they eked it out against the number 3 seed Oregon to get into the championship. So the game is tonight. I think the kickoff time is, or the tip-off time is at 9:20. So we'll get the end results of that, you know, after the show, and you know, I'm pretty sure we'll be talking about that on Wednesday. So Chuck gave you the number, so just call us up, man. We'll definitely be talking about that. Now, we came in with the. What you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna give a good shout out to Kennedy Meeks for the game you were speaking on, the Oregon game. That cat had 25 points and 14 rebounds. What he had to have it. The group of people that had at least 25 points and 14 rebounds in the Final Four in the last 40 years, meaning longer than that kid's been alive, is Kennedy Meeks, Carmelo Anthony, Ed O'Bannon,
Melo.
Yep, Danny Manning, and give me the last person, Chuck. I know you know it.
Actually, not off the top of the head. I don't know.
When I say it, I know you're going to know it. It's Larry Bird.
The legend. No doubt. You said 40 years. You said, all right, yeah, okay. That was 79.
Yep.
I was thinking more recently. Larry Legend.
Yeah, 40. It was 40 years, so, you know, you had to give him. And it says Kennedy Meeks, 25 points and 14 rebounds. His first player with 25 points and 10 rebounds in a Final Four game since Greg Oden in 2007.
Great.
Now I hope that turns out way better than Greg Oden's career ended up. I'm not gonna lie. Like, Smoke know how all right, if I pull for a team, which I don't flip-flop, I stick with a team thick and thin. That's Tar Heels, Gamecocks, Redskins, Braves, Lakers, all that. I stick with them when we look horrible. Now, but I'm hard on them all the time, win and lose. I'm hard on them. And I was hard on Meeks because when he came in, he was a big dude. Now, I give him this. He took the discipline, lost the weight. I love that. I was calling mediocre Meeks because he was not living up to what I thought and what someone else, another friend of mine, pointed out, that he should have been great. And my friend made a great point. And I was saying, I feel the same way. And then in the tournament, he stepped up, and every time I looked at him, I would get sick. But then every time I look up, he was having a great game. So I'm not really going to diss the kid. He did a great job on that. So I hope he has another big night. I need Meeks to have a great night, and I need Joel to show up because I don't know if he had the flu or pneumonia, whatever he had. I hope not, but I hope he's over with whatever. His ankle, I know he wasn't feeling well with that. So we'll see how this turns out. But that was just my little 2 cents on the Oregon.
Now we came on with the clip from the final seconds of the national championship game for the Lady Gamecocks. And so, thinking back to the last show, I want to say all of us picked, I know I did, Connecticut. You all picked Connecticut to go to the championship game and face the Gamecocks for the championship. Yeah. So, you know, in terms of the South Carolina squad, you know, they didn't have to jump that hurdle or run through that wall of Connecticut, you know, to get to the championship. So it kind of made things, I don't want to say it made it easier for them, but, you know, Connecticut was a beast. And so none of us expected to see that 111-game streak come to an end in the tournament versus Mississippi State. I was watching that game. I'm pretty sure y'all guys were watching. What was y'all thinking as that game went on and, you know, eventually Mississippi State pulled it out?
Bruh, but what's crazy with that game was, just like you said in the beginning, not just us, not Sportholes Radio. 90%. If you weren't in Mississippi, you picked Connecticut to win that game, and 50% of Mississippi picked Connecticut to win that game. So it was almost like Mississippi State was counted out from the beginning. So from the players' mind frame, me speaking, from what I would think they would say is, everybody in the world has counted you out. So when everybody has counted you out, it's not even about proving them wrong, because if you lose, they expected you to lose. So don't go out there and lose. Go out there and play so hard, play the hardest game you've ever played in your life, just to say, not that you showed them wrong, but just to say that don't ever count me out. And I guess that's saying the same thing, but beyond count me out, just to it's like one of those things where you win a bet, get your money, and just walk off. You don't even talk shit. You just walk off. Just get your money and walk off. So, I mean, that was great for them. That was their championship. I hate to say it. I said it when that game happened. I said, look, they just beat Connecticut. They're not going to be able to beat Connecticut and Carolina. Now, that would be a true Cinderella. Beat Connecticut and Carolina in the same season, not going down. I mean, you couldn't bet money that was going to happen. So, I mean, they were counted out. When they came in the second game, when Smoke and I were watching it, the young lady who made that winning shot for, give me her name, Chuck.
Morgan Williams.
Morgan Williams. When she made that shot during the Connecticut game, she was, she did her job. She opened up space, made space, pulled up. No one was in her face. She did her thing. You could hear the confidence in her voice when she was speaking there. At halftime of that Carolina game when she was speaking, boy, she had some shookness going on, boy. When she was speaking, she had that, boy, these girls are not letting up on that court. She did not have that same muster and umph. And, yeah, they do have to go through a lot of games to get where they were, but she did not sound the way she sounded all other 4 rounds of basketball. Carolina.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I did notice that too.
Yeah, Carolina never let up.
A high to a low.
Exactly. What you think, Chuck?
Well, the analyst was a lot of analysts on TV was making note of that, saying that the ladies that the girls that the ladies Don Staley was putting on William kind of frustrated her a little bit.
Yeah.
And the coach must be thought the same thing too, because he benched her for the whole fourth quarter.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy, because she had 41 points in the Elite 8 game to get them to the Final Four, and then she hit the shot, the upset Goliath in the Final Four, and then coach gonna sit you on the bench for the last 10 minutes of the game? That was kind of crazy.
That's a horrible coaching decision.
That's a horrible coach. That's a horrible coaching decision.
She had that look, man. She had that look.
No,
hey,
I can't front.
She did have that look.
I feel you. I'm not saying I would have benched her. You got to go. This is the last game. You got to just run your engine till it blow up. But she had that look in her face, like, man, it's like, I can't say what was going through her head, but, it didn't. She didn't look confident. You know what I mean? So
you gotta, in sports, they always say you got to dance with the one that brought you there.
You right.
She got them there. You got to go out with her. You can't sit her on the bench for the whole fourth quarter.
But Chuck, you done coached before, so tell me this. As a coach, you done seen that look me and Smoke talking about. You done seen that look of, he ain't got it today. And as much as you want to just kind of let them play it out to see if it come on, you done seen that look, and that look of, I need to make a change now before this gets worse.
Well, I'm glad you said that. Well, I first started coaching. It was one of team that I had is 7 and 8 year olds. I think it was a basketball tournament we was in. It was a championship game, as a matter of fact. And one of our best players, like with me, with the coach, I'm not putting one of my best players on the bench unless they tell me they're not ready for the moment. Unless they come out their mouth. And that kind of what happened with one of my players. I was getting on him. I was like, all right, championship game. I need you. And he kind of asked to come out the game. So I took him out. And I took him, but only because he asked to come out. Otherwise, I was going to ride him until the end because he was one of the guys that got us to the championship. But when he asked to come out, that one I took him out. Now, I don't know if he asked the coach to come out. I don't know if he asked the coach to come out with the coach, with Mississippi State coach, they said that in the games before he took out all his starters. He liked to play a lot of players, and they said it was games before that he took out his starters and went to the bench. Me personally,
championship is not the car for that.
Championship is not time for that. Championship, I'm going with my big dogs because I think they're the ones that are made for that moment. And I was surprised that she set the bench for the whole fourth quarter. And like I said, unless that was her option, me as a coach, I'm not one of my best players on the bench for the whole quarter.
Yeah. Because, like you said, if they're asking to come out, they're already telling you, I can't give you 100%. No matter how much you want to push it out of them, that work at practice and in the game time where every point count, if you can't do it and you telling me you can't do it, I can't talk you into doing it. Like they say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can either make him drink or you got to drown his ass, one of the two. And either way, he going to die if he don't drink. So, but you take him out if they ask, but at the same time, like you said, if she asked, but if she didn't ask, or if she's just sitting there with that, what we call the look, and you kind of got the tight mouth, you usually a vocal person, I don't know about sitting you down the whole fourth quarter. I don't know about sitting you down at all. We're going to have a talk before you sit down. We're going to have to, like you said, let me pull you aside, and if you say in so many ways you can't do it, I got to send somebody else out there. But if I pull you aside and you just look kind of scary, you got to shake the fear. Fear is not something you sit down for. You sit down, it's an old, I guess it's old, it's older than me, saying they say in sports, are you hurt or are you injured? And if you say hurt, you can still play when you're hurt. You can't play when you're injured. Hurt is different from injured. Are you hurt or are you injured? And to me, she looked more hurt than injured.
Definitely. And can't see how the coach sat on the bench for the whole fourth quarter. I mean, if this, like tonight's game, could you imagine like Nigel Williams-Goss, All-American player, sitting on the bench for the last 10 minutes, or Shimmick Karnowski, the 7-footer, big 7-foot, 300-pound guy? Those guys are not going to be sitting on Justin Jackson, Joe Barry, Kennedy Meeks. Those guys are not going to be sitting on the bench for the last 10 minutes by a coach's decision. That's just not going to happen. So, like, you got to be in this championship time. You got to be in there playing.
Gotta run your horses.
He's a women's coach because if he was the men's coach, he would have been getting a lot of flack about that last night.
Yeah.
Well, they went home. Shout out to Dawn Staley and the Lady Gamecocks.
Dawn Staley, though.
Chipped up.
And the Lady Gamecocks.
Chipped up. Word. Now let's switch modes a little bit. We haven't talked about football in quite a couple shows or whatever. And over the weekend, I saw something interesting. The team that you love to hate, Chuck, Mr. Statman, the Patriots, was having a visit set up with Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson was meeting with them. Now, that story developed earlier today, and he went visited with them. There wasn't a contract offer, so there isn't anything on the table as of yet. Does Adrian Peterson go to the Patriots, or is he going anywhere? Like, who do you see him going to at this point? You would think that, even though he's older, with the level of play that Adrian Peterson has had in the past, somebody would have signed him by now, But we understand the NFL We understand his age, and also the position of running backs, with availability and stuff like that. What's up with AP? Where is he going, man?
Well, let me get on it before Chuck, because I know he's going to rant on that one. Now, I actually have a clip I want to play for this, because in my mind, like Smoke said, AP actually would look really good, and the Patriots, he's not going to have to do the work because it's going to be systematic. He'll stay healthy, and he might be able to get a chance to get a ring with that other guy. But I don't think this is about AP. I think this is more about LeGarrette Blount. Let me play this clip. Tell me, guys, if you can hear it. If not, I'll play it through another feed. I'm about to play it through another feed because it's saying it can't play through there. I actually have it on another one, so don't worry about it, guys. But as I bring the clip up, I think this is more about LeGarrette Blount because he hasn't signed yet. And this is more of a, okay, LeGarrette, we want you, but if you don't do it, we got options, So let me play this, and you guys tell me what you think after you hear the clip.
Back to the LeGarrette Blount thing. The first thing I thought when I heard this story over the weekend was, okay, this is a LeGarrette Blount leverage play here by Bill Belichick.
Yeah, and I think that certainly would make some sense. I know LeGarrette Blount would like to return to the Patriots. I know the Patriots would like him back. But at this point, the salary has not been – honestly, salary hasn't been more than some of the other running backs on the roster already make, especially some of the newly acquired ones in Rex Burkhead. So they're just not there yet as far as getting LeGarrette Blount back in the fold for the Patriots. Maybe this spurs things along, or maybe he's able to get a visit somewhere that will let the Patriots know that he has other suitors that should transpire this week. But Bettis mentioned something that those close to Adrian Peterson have been saying. He actually missed a couple seasons with injuries and obviously the suspension. Doesn't have as many carries on his body as someone his age might, but you can also spin that and say that's a bad thing. Sure. He's been injured too.
Yeah, and that's...
So I'll cut that right there. So what you guys think?
I can see the hooded one and crew pulling a move like that. I don't necessarily think that that's what they're doing. In my opinion, Adrian Peterson is an upgrade over LeGarrette Blount, in my opinion. LeGarrette Blount he had a great season last year.
2 Super Bowls.
He got a championship. So
2.
I don't see that being a mind game play in terms of bargain leverage with them. You know what I mean? I don't think so. I think it's just legitimately those guys coming in. Peterson's still on the market. Them checking them out. I don't think really that it's a leverage against LeGarrette Blount, and you could, I could see those guys doing that. So, but
and also to look at it like this, that kind of sets the market for Adrian Peterson's money too. You got to look at the whole Eddie Lacy thing. Look at the other running backs. Eddie Lacy and LeGarrette Blount would probably be the top 2 on the list behind him, moving around as running backs this offseason. So if they're not willing to, him too, but his contract's probably not more than what Blount probably might be in a bad situation because of the team matrix there. But my point in saying that is they're either going to give let LeGarrette Blount take the contract they're offering him or offer Adrian Peterson the same thing, if not less. They're not going to give him more because if they're going to give him more, they can give that to a guy that worked for the 2 Super Bowls for him. You see what I'm saying? So it's either going to be the same thing or less. And then other teams are going to look at that, well, the Patriots not going to, I'm not giving, So it kind of sets his market too. So, I mean, this is a genius chess move by the hooded one. I mean, if you think about it, you're getting leverage on Blount, and you're telling Peterson, look, I'm not really giving you more than this.
Peterson will probably move after the draft.
What you say,
once
Chuck?
people start picking up running backs. But
Yeah, it looks like a leverage thing to me. But man, listen, I do not want to see Adrian Peterson in a Patriot uniform. Like, really, they really want me to not watch football. Really want me to not tune in. Do you really want me to not tune in? I mean, I already got Connie Easley from the Panthers on the steal. I got Brandon Cooks on the steal. You got Stephon Gilmore on the steal.
South Carolina dude.
Now, they're looking at Adrian
not to mention
Peterson.
the draft picks.
Yeah, they got some good draft. Well, they gave up a first rounder for I think a third rounder, and
Patriots
they don't
never
really
drafted
like
anybody in the first round.
They don't really mind not having first round picks. Because Belichick, he like to trade his draft picks all the time anyway. So, man, listen, Adrian Peterson, you was working out with Jameis Winston, and Mike Evans, and Deshaun Jackson. That'll be a nice look in Tampa Bay.
They went over that. They can't. It's not financially possible to get him on the team. They looked at. There's no way. They looked at every angle. They have to give up everything they just got, and it's not because of him. It's because of the money they got on the table already. So he's not going to be in Tampa Bay. So you can go ahead and cancel Christmas on that.
They can make a run. They got they don't have a running back. They signed Jacquizz Rodgers or something like that. They don't have a running back. They about to go in the draft and
find one. Why? It's a ton of running backs in the draft, and they got enough where they don't have to lean on a running back. You know, so there's no point in paying Adrian Peterson $6 or $7 million, and he asking for $8 million. So I mean, when I can go get a dude for 2.5, you know, that's just to do just what I did. I mean, you got to think about when Tampa Bay won a Super Bowl, they had Mike Allstott playing running back and fullback. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, they got enough.
Yeah, they had some low names.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So they had
Adrian Peterson look good in Tampa Bay or Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers, get on the phone.
I think that's a good look. He did go up there. He did make a visit to Green Bay, but I don't know what happened with that.
Well, he left New England without a deal. Hopefully, there's no going back to New England. I'm tired of that. I'm just tired of that.
He left New England without a deal that we know about.
They said it's a chance they can go back and revisit the situation, but I'm hoping that's the end of that
situation.
Tell me this. And he's on the Green Bay.
What's worse, the Adrian Peterson situation or Marshawn Lynch wanting to come back and play for Oakland, but Oakland's only going to be there for 2 years? Because he's not going to go play in Vegas.
Nah. Marshawn, I don't know what's up with Marshawn, man. He should have still been playing.
Nobody in America can be mad at Marshawn Lynch. After Pete Carroll screwed him in the Super Bowl?
Oh, well, that's probably why he took the hiatus, because Tom Brady has a ring on his finger because they didn't give him the ball, Tom Brady, he was MVP of the Super Bowl because Seattle decided not to run the ball. Like, no.
So imagine how he feels. You know how mad
the MVP of the Super Bowl for the Patriots is Darryl. They should put him in the Patriot, even though he's the Seattle offensive coordinator. The same thing with Atlanta. The MVP of the last 2 Super Bowls that the Patriots won are the Atlanta offensive coordinator and Seattle offensive coordinator. So, Marshawn Lynch, you should have still been playing. I know you were still mad about it. I'm mad about that. I'm just looking at the network, and the worst play ever in football history is that play.
Oh, yeah, I don't know nothing worse. You gave the game away. I'm talking about not the game, but the game, that game. Like, right there. It don't get bigger than this. I don't see how Pete Carroll as a coach even let that shit go down. Like, if you say your offensive coordinator and you trust your offensive coordinator, I don't trust no man. That's like a dude who been sitting at the bar with you shot for shot, and you can't drive, and you about to I want you to drive me home? No. Listen, we about to sit here and figure it out together. But it's going to be simple. We're going to call a damn Uber.
I know we ain't gonna call no passing play from the shotgun from the 1 yard line. God. Oh my God.
Still can't live that one down.
Yeah, that was crazy. A lot of people lost a lot of money on that, man. It was real weird. A lot of people probably made money on that. But NFL wise, I think are we 23 days away from the draft? I think we're 23, 24. I want to say closer to 23. Might even be 22 days from the draft. That's going to be big. I can't wait for that to see what teams turn out. As far as the free agency, it kind of calmed down a lot. So I guess as of right now, before the draft, biggest free agent moves, we sticking with the Giants, Tampa Bay, and I got to slide Seattle in there with the Eddie Lacy thing. I think that's going to help them out.
Or OG man. All right, well, we got the NBA season rolling to the end right now, and all the playoff matchups are becoming more and more concrete. And one of the stories right now is Kevin Durant. Your man Kevin Durant's coming back, so he's expected to play in the game against the Pelicans upcoming before the end of the season. And so, Golden State will get a chance to, work him back in, and they've been looking pretty good lately. You know what I mean? They at the 63 wins. They're leading the West, so it looks like they're gonna lock up that number 1 seed. They'll get a chance to come back. At full strength going into the playoffs. Now, I was looking up some stuff on, seeing when KD was coming back and so forth and so on. And I found this story on NBC Sports that I thought was kind of funny. I mean, I'll just read it off real quick, and then you could maybe just go into, what you guys think Golden State's going to do. I mean, the Cavs are struggling. They haven't been looking good lately. And, on the other hand, you have the Warriors. They're coming together at this point. Steph's been looking good lately. They're getting KD back. Maybe we could just chop it up about that. But let me just get into this real quick. So KD, he was on a podcast with Bill Simmons via CSN Bay Area. And so in the podcast, Bill Simmons, he asked Durant, what's the best criticism you heard of yourself from the TV, from the guys on the TV? So they're saying that as Durant was about to answer, his agent was there, Rich Kleiman. So he started laughing. And so KD, he goes on, quote, yo, what's the best story? I'm not going to name names. Tell him the story about this is his agent, Rich Kleiman, is saying this. So he's like, yo, tell him the story about how the player came up to you and you were like, he kept it so real. So Durant says, do you want me to say his name? Kleiman goes, that's up to you guys. So Durant says, out of respect to him, but he did kind of do some shady shit to me. So then he goes and tells the story of, he's saying, we played in Vancouver, first game in a Warriors uniform. And I see James Worthy walking out as I was leaving the game. It's a legend here, Big Game James. I didn't get to see him play, but I just know all about him. I'm a little skeptical at this point to even talk to anybody from the generation before because I don't even know how they feel about me as a person, as a player, because these dudes, they look at me like, oh, you switching teams. You chasing this, you chasing that. So I'm just going to keep it moving. But he was like, man, don't worry about that stuff. People change jobs every single year, every single day. Don't worry about that. Just go out there and keep working and go win. So I'm like, man, that's nice. So I came back home that night, and my boy Randy, I was like, man, James Worthy was cool. He showed me so much love. I appreciate that. And he, talking about his boy Randy, was like, huh? He was talking so bad about you on TV. He was saying Magic wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done that. Yo, stop selling out. This is going back to KD. Yo, stop selling out. Stop selling your brothers out. This is a fraternity. Stop selling us out. Stop doing that, man. and then come in my face talking that nonsense. I was really fooled with her.
Oh, shit.
James Worthy faking the funk out there. What's up with that?
Damn, you called it. Damn, James. I know you was drunken and all, but that's how you tell it. So you think so? Either one or two things. He was telling KD the truth, and the media, they controlling the media, which we already think anyway, or he one of them two-faced ass dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like, tell everybody what they want to hear. It got to be the second one, because the way they referring to it was, you know, he was on TV saying it. So it was like, you know, dude was looking at James Worthy. I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, I think James Worthy is like an announcer or something, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's on Spectrum Sports show with the Lakers. Every Laker game, he's on there analyzing.
Unfortunately, yeah.
He probably has something to say about that. I like James Worthy, but my take on James Worthy is, if the Lakers would have took Dominique Wilkins and instead of James Worthy, we would have won more championships in the 80s. I like James Worthy, but we should have took Dominique Wilkins. We would have won the championship.
I saw something recently with Dominique. He was saying that when they hit free agency, that he was supposed to come to New York and come play with Patrick Ewing and shit, but he ended up re-signing with Atlanta and shit. I was like,
because guys are dumb. Let me like the KD move. Everybody on KD like, KD, you did something crazy. But I tell anybody who if you ever been to just a basketball court or a rec league basketball court, and somebody say they got next. Now, when that person has next, does that person say, I'm going to pick 4 scrubby people and have to work hard to get a W, or I'm going to pick 4 good teammates that are going to give me a good chance to win?
So there be cats on the court already knowing they're going to lose, telling my man who got next that he going to run with them just so they don't get off the court. So you already know how that go down.
That happens.
No,
that
I mean,
happens what you're talking about.
I mean, I'm agreeing with you.
That definitely happens. Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say is, like, when you picking a team, you go and pick good teammates so you can win and stay on the court. Them cats that said next, who asked for next, why they already on the court, they already know I'm about to lose. So we try to get up with a better team.
Yeah, he had
the next time around to give me a chance to win. So that's all KD said. KD was a free agent, so he said, I got next. We look
That's
around.
my thing with that whole shit. Like,
this team gonna give me a chance to win all day, not to be on the court all day.
Listen, the way the NBA and free agency set up, nobody should be able to do that. Now, I'm gonna say this though. Why we months into it, damn near to the championship playoff era, and we still talking about KD changing teams, but cats let LeBron flip back and forth like, he LeBron, let him do that. They whack for that.
LeBron got flack though. He got flack.
He did, but they ain't dragging for no. Like every time KD name come up, it's he switched teams. He switched teams. Nobody want to talk about, like Smoke said, real talk. If KD doesn't get hurt and Russell Westbrook doesn't have this historic season, he was in the running for not running, but they were speaking to him about they were picking him for MVP candidate. You understand? Before the debacle. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, when you look at that, you know, they treat my man like he not putting up numbers on a team that had numbers. That's hard to do. Like, it's not enough basketballs to go around in Dub City. You know what I'm saying? And especially the way Curry just be pulling up these doggone 2K shots, man. Like, I don't know what this dude be eating for breakfast.
So with Steph rolling and KD coming back, the East looking the way it is in terms of Cleveland, you know, Boston is looking good, but
Beantown.
Realistically, like what do the Warriors do? Are they gonna be able to get into the finals? KD's back.
Like, it's easier to talk that on the East, but right now on the West, everybody want to throw Warriors in there, man. You got to get past San Antonio, and that's gonna be hard to do.
No doubt. And I know why KD was out, that Spurs would have passed the Warriors and take home that number 1 seed. But
to play that lower seed,
Golden State was able to right the ship, and they look like they got, I think, a 3.5 game lead up on the Spurs. So it looked like they're going to hold on to that number 1 seed, the Warriors. Now it's all about integrating back into they won their last 12 games in a row, the Warriors. So it's like, all right, now KD has to acclimate himself back within the roster in a smooth way, because now it looks like they got a rhythm going about themselves, and they're looking pretty good. So KD has to ease his way back into the lineup. And but Warriors, they back looking kind of strong. I still say the Spurs got a chance, but the Warriors, they back looking kind of strong.
I mean, they are. They look better than the Cleveland. Cleveland just, I don't know. They got to get things. Their rhythm is off.
Yeah, I mean, the
we
Warriors
was talking.
doing what you want. They doing what you want right now. I mean, coming into the playoffs.
Exactly. With momentum.
You want to have your stars clicking. You want to have the team winning and coming together, putting together impressive wins. So, just by the eye test, they looking real good right now. And then let's say, we're going to bring KD on top of it. They already have stars, so pretty much those last few games of the season and the first round is pretty much going to be practice for him, you know what I'm saying, get him back into the rhythm. Nobody sees them losing no first-round games. So, yeah, I mean, it's the total polar opposite of LeBron and crew, out west. And, I know we want to mark them up as the two guys that's going to, two teams that are going to match up in the finals. I mean, but we can't forget about the Spurs, like AJ said.
Yeah, we need to stop doing that, because we see what happened with the college championship. We started matching people up, and shit go down the way we thought.
Yeah, the Spurs
Now we coming down to like the last 10 minutes or so, 13 minutes. The UNC Tar Heels and Zags game is a national championship. That should be kicking off in a few minutes. So you're gonna get that turned on and see what our Tar Heels can do. Now,
Yep. Well, before you get off NBA, you about to leave NBA?
Nah. Well, what you want to say?
Well, I just wanted to speak on the historic season that we haven't, as NBA fans, in 70 years of NBA. It's a lot of records being broken this year that we have not seen. LeBron James is the first player to average 26 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists, and shoot 54%. The first ever. James Harden is the first player ever in NBA history to have 2,000-plus points and 2,000-plus points off of assists in the same season. Westbrook, self-explanatory. You already know what he's doing. Is history.
MVP.
Steph Curry is the first player to have 300 three-pointers 2 consecutive seasons, not to mention it's never been done in one season before where a person has had 300 three-pointers. That's all happening this season right now, and it's not even over with. That's crazy.
And it's also a nice list that you just ran off. And also, this is the season that has had the most triple-doubles ever.
Yes.
And the previous record was like 78 in the season, and we are way past 100 at this point in the season right now. Somewhere like 100 and between 105 and 110 triple-doubles on this season. So, yes, this has been a very historical season.
So we in consensus
Mr. Westbrook, go ahead.
Russell Westbrook. We in consensus of Westbrook winning the MVP, huh? We in consensus of that, huh? Are we?
James Harden, missed a game last night, so I'm taking away a point.
Yeah, swine flu.
Yeah, he was sick. It wasn't no rest day. He was not feeling well, and he has also had the wrist injury he was dealing with for the last days also.
Yeah.
But Mr. Westbrook, I still ain't gave it to him yet. I'm still on the side of Harden. I'm still on the side of Harden.
I want to play this clip from Corey Holcomb's show, 5150 show. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Corey Holcomb and the crew. You know what I'm saying? Because he pretty much summed it up with, you know what I'm saying, how I feel about, you know what I'm saying, this whole Westbrook thing. It's like they don't want to give the guy his props. So it's just him talking along with Zoe Williams and another guest comic that they had on their show, which I can't recall right now. But I'm going to play the clip. Courtesy of Corey Holcomb. Corey's a funny dude.
I feel what he's saying. He said, you can't talk about the people on your team, but then said he rebounded. I got a problem with point guards that have more rebounds than a 4 or a 5. I got a big problem with that. So that is part of that team shit right there. And that's part of my team ain't playing, so I got to go do shit. So, I mean, I guess that's still...
So he wouldn't get 10 rebounds.
No, I said that's still a chip on his side for being the most valuable player. Don't get me wrong now, but, I mean, them dudes is like garbage. Like, you can't bring KD in that. KD got Curry, got Clay, and even old dumbass Draymond to throw the ball to when he need to get that shit out of his hand. Westbrook come down court, still averaging 10 assists and can't figure out who to give it to. So, yeah, I mean, he going to make a way stronger candidate for MVP right now, especially when you averaging a triple-double. So, I mean, his team is charming, but like they said, KD going to get the ring, Westbrook will get history, and then Westbrook will get the hell out of Oklahoma City in a year or two.
They marginalizing the triple-double. My man averaging a triple-double.
Yeah. Man. But like Chuck said, it's more triple-doubles this year than ever before. So it's like one dude on the block had a hard-ass Bentley, and then 3 other dudes just went and got, like, I don't know, Lamborghini or something. Not quite a Bentley, but them boys got some nice Lambos where it's kind of, it's not really marginalized. It's just a nice example.
That's like if you average a Bentley every day, like every day of the week you average a new one. I come in here, boom, let me get this Bentley. This is what he doing. I'm averaging a Bentley.
Yeah, but you still got cats driving Hellcats and shit in the same neighborhood.
Come on, Hellcat to a Bent.
I feel you. I'm probably take the Hellcat.
Yeah, I feel you, man. It's a different class, cuz.
Yeah, it is a different class. I mean, you can't. I mean, you gotta have a driver for that shit, man.
Facts. He the driver and the rider.
No doubt. Doing big things too. Doing big things too. 40 triple doubles, man.
2 more to
I let Corey's I'll let his talk speak for it, man. Shout out to Corey, man. Hey, no, my guy. He said it so eloquently.
There's nothing eloquent about that.
Word up. So we coming up.
Homie putting in work.
We coming up to the end of the show. You know what I'm saying? Another week in the building. Episode 7. We are the champions. We still got a few minutes left, but Chuck, you got anything to close us out with? What you got there, cuz?
All right. It's baseball season, people.
Yes, it is.
I like baseball, but my baseball people, check this out. Y'all can't be holding on to the first 70 years of baseball and saying this is the glory time of baseball when it was played by all whites. Now, you had a 70-year period from about 1870 to about 1880 to 1950, where the game was only played by white folks. No Hispanics, no blacks, just white folks. And the numbers that was accumulated during that time look kind of absurd because nobody has been able to reach them. So people are acting. So I'm saying this is not the glory time of baseball from 1880 to 1950. The glory time is when you let the blacks and Hispanics in, and we watch Hank Aaron and Willie Mays and the Sammy Sosas and the Rafael Palmeiros and the Alex Rodriguez rise to the in 50 years. So, like, you want to outlaw the steroid people and say they was doing wrong, but you had a 70-year period when you was not letting blacks or Hispanics in. That is the worst time in baseball. The best time is when you included everybody. Now you have players from all over the world playing baseball. So this is really the golden age of the sport, not the age of just Babe Ruth and Ty Cobb and Lou Gehrig, and I like all those dudes, but it was just it was just a white boy. It was just a white boy sport. It was just a white. So we got to throw out them numbers, and the real official numbers of baseball is starting from 1947 when you let Jackie Robinson and Larry Doby into the sport, and Willie Mays, Roy Campanella. That's the golden era of the sport. So tune into baseball, and we got to let the steroid people in the game. We got to let the steroid people into the Hall of Fame. It's not performance enhancing. It's guys that are working hard at their. Them guys are trying to be the best that they can be. They're trying.
Not to mention it went illegal when they was using it.
And it wasn't illegal, and we've had doctors on TV that said that is not making the base. Taking steroids are not going to help your hand-eye coordination. It's not going to make you a better baseball player. So when they are degrading the steroid people, they're trying to uphold the era of baseball when it was just white folks playing. And so that's not right. Yeah, you can have golf, but we got Tiger over there.
They ran Tiger out of that shit, boy.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
A baseball is a good sport. Opening day. Today.
Opening day, baby. Go Braves. But
yeah, go Braves.
That was great. I guess my little last words for the day is mine is actually a shout out. I want to give a shout out to Patrick Ewing for getting the job at Georgetown, even though he should have been coaching the freaking Knicks or some shit. I don't know what the hell Phil Jackson is thinking. I don't get it, because if y'all look at, I had to think, but I can't run down all the teams Patrick has coached. But we look at like Orlando, we look at, I want to say it was Indiana. A lot of those teams that Patrick coached, he is a player's coach. They respond to him. He had players respond to him that no one ever heard of, you know? So, I mean, Patrick Ewing, I think, is going to be a really, really good fit, especially for the young guys down there. We need another Thompson-type guy. He played under Thompson Sr., so, I mean, he knows the book. He knows the layout. So he's going to do good there. But I'm giving him a shout-out because he deserves it. I love it. I love to see guys that deserve it get where they got to go. But I hate to see that a guy had to wait this long. Patrick Ewing should have been a coach in the NBA, especially the way they throw coaches around. Mark Jackson should be coaching right now because that's Mark Jackson's team out in Dub Nation. No one wants to admit that. He found Curry and Clay. And from the day one, he said they were the best shooters he's ever seen, and they laughed at him. Now we got commercials and shit. So, I mean, shout out to those guys. Coaches, keep doing your thing. Keep pushing. You're going to get your chance.
Man, Pat Ewing supposed to be an NBA coach. Man, Pat Ewing supposed to be an NBA coach.
Real talk.
Go back to his alma mater, and I hope that he shows them guys that he is deserving of an NBA job. Pat Ewing's supposed to be an NBA coach, though.
Real talk.
Word up, man. Show my man Pat Ewing some love, you know what I'm saying? New York Knicks for life.
Yo, you know what would be really gangster? If, like, all of Georgetown start wearing the old school Ewings instead of Jordans and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think Jordan gonna wear like that. But y'all,
at least wear them to the game, like when they walk in.
2 Chainz is over there at Ewing's. So shout out to 2 Chainz. Shout out to Patrick Ewing. Shout out to Georgetown. Yeah. So Sports Hole Radio episode 7. We are the champions. Another week in the building. Yo, hit us up on Twitter. You know what I mean? We had a lot of chopping it up today, man. Statman gave you a nice little something for all our Major League Baseball lovers, you know what I'm saying? Something to think about. As usual, AJ talking his talk. Yo, we out of there.
Atlanta Braves.
Okay, keep your eyes closed.
Okay.
I want to show you my first ever painting.
All right.
Okay. Open your eyes.
Oh, that's a lot of colors and shapes.
So be honest. What do you think?
Well, I like how if you switch to Geico, you could save hundreds of dollars on car insurance.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Here, why don't I hold your paintbrush while you call them?
Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.